Welcome to FADA TV, the video channel created by and for new car dealers, and brought to you by the Florida Automobile Dealers Association and our premier e-titling partner, Dealer DMV.
Good afternoon, FADA family. It's Ted Smith, and I'm here in Orlando. We just finished our board meeting, and I'm standing here with two of my greatest leaders, my chairman of the board, Alan Turner. Alan, thanks for being here. You did a great job today.
Thank you. Glad to be here, Ted.
Thanks, man. And my legislative chairman, Ted Serbasic. So what a treat it is to have you here, Ted.
My pleasure.
We just went through a complete board meeting. We discussed all of the various things that FADA is involved in, but we know that we need to report to you on what just happened in the 2021 session of the Florida legislature. And it was contentious, was it not?
Very much.
Was it an open and easy system this year to operate in?
It was not. It was quite the opposite, as you know.
It was closed off, folks. You probably saw on TV that people were not allowed in the Capitol. We have about 7 lobbyists that work for FADA, and they were not able to even get in the building, were they? You know what? I've been working for you for 20 years, and I walked in this year inside the building 3 times in 60-day session. That's unbelievable. So we really depended on our members, all of you watching this video, to help us, didn't we?
We did. In fact, we had Zoom meetings from all parts of the state, with different dealers, different legislators. They really worked well, but in the end, it really didn't bear much fruit.
It was tough. We had an FADA bill, Mr. Chairman.
We did.
And what was it designed to do, and what happened to it?
Well, it was largely designed to force the DMV to do what we consider to be their job, and that is to enforce the motor vehicle laws, especially as they relate to the manufacturer. It was a good bill, made a lot of sense. Between COVID and between some opposition that frankly we didn't expect we were going to have, we hit enough headwinds that the bill just did not pass this year, parenthetically, along with a lot of other bills that other organizations had. So it just was not a good year in the legislature to get legislation through. But next year, we feel like we'll be back. We feel like we'll have access into the halls of the legislature, which is extremely helpful for the way we do business up there. And we think we're going to have the opportunity to sit down with some of that opposition and find out what their concerns are, and hopefully get them to neutral or in fact in favor of this type of legislation.
So how important, Alan, will it be going forward to have our members engage so this next year we have some success?
Well, that's always important because we have the relationships with those elected officials. We get to go to Tallahassee oftentimes, but especially on the Mike Mayor Day on the Hill. We get to go in and we get to meet with these legislators and have dialogue about the issues that we're facing in our industry. It's awfully important that you dealers are involved.
And we're going to need to do a really good job of educating you about these issues, because we have to give elevator speeches when we talk to members of the legislature. We have their attention for about 3 minutes, if we're lucky. So we want to engage you back home to do that. We're going to set up some meetings that allow you to do that with us. We're going to really be wholly dependent on you. The second major bill that was in the session this year, and you saw videos from me, you saw a lot of information about it, guys, right, was the privacy bill. That was a bill designed to go after the big tech people who are peering into your lives, leaving messages on your phones, yada, yada. Everybody hates that, but they came after the big tech people by going into businesses and regulating you. We saw that as an awful bill. Well, guess what? It's coming back next session. So between now and then, we're going to try to help you communicate also with the legislature about how harmful that privacy bill was. It was killed at the last minute, thank God. It was an awful piece of legislation. So we're going to need you to be very active back home in saying why that's a bad idea. I tell you what, these guys are really the bread and butter of our operation. All of you are the ground game for FADA, but I've got 2 great leaders here. I appreciate you guys so much. We've got a lot to tackle, because what else do we talk about today? How OEMs are getting into your business. We had a lot of discussions, right, guys?
We sure did. And the pace of that is accelerating greatly. I think all of us can sit back and look at the things we see from these manufacturers, and it used to be you had the occasional thing, and now it's one after the other, and they seemingly are getting more egregious each time that goes around.
And they follow suit with one another. Once one gets away with a certain action, the others follow suit. So it's just growing exponentially.
So I can tell you as your chief staff person, I really depend on these two guys, and I'm depending on you. So work with us in the next 6 months as we prepare for some major action. And thank you so much for being members of FADA. Guys, thank you for being leaders. The time you give is just invaluable. I love you guys. We appreciate you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.